CFM.
Well, howdy, everybody.
Meowdy partners, how y'all doing tonight? Welcome to CFM Radio.
Country freestyle music radio.
Yep, we got everything bluegrass, western swing, and everything hillbilly and redneck you can think of here tonight on CFM Radio. Wait, what day is it again?
Oh, by gum, it's Wednesday, my dudes.
Wednesday, partners.
Wednesday, partners. And that is CFM Radio. We are Cluster Fucked Media. That's F-U-K-T Media.
Clusterfuck
Yep,
Media.
and today's edition happens to land on April 1st. So that was a little April Fool's joke for everybody. We're here to listen to video game music.
This is video game music.
Yeah. Right now, you're listening to In Case of Trouble from the game Bastion.
Bastion, incredible game. If you actually if you haven't played it, man, it's one of the first in a long line of games like Child of Light, Transistor, just so many great games under that developer's belt. They're all fantastic. Check them all out. But you know what, Drix? I gotta tell you, there has been a ton of games lately, and we're getting to the point where the year's in full swing. I can't blame anybody if they can't keep up.
Oh yeah, plenty of great stuff out there to play still. As I bought Marathon a little over a week ago, I came upon a 7-day trial for PlayStation Premium tier subscription. That came with the game streaming options. I gotta tell you, I've been playing all the great games from like 2023 and 2024 finally. I've been playing Sandland, which I personally really like, but I can see why it kind of lacks a certain kind of polish that like maybe a lot of people didn't get into, but I really like it just for the Akira Toriyama mech design. Finally getting into Space Marine 2, which is like to me like the most recent modern and advanced Gears of War. I can finally hack up some alien species with my chain sword and the like. And the other one I've been getting into is your game of the year from that year, Vector. It was Unicorn Overlord, which I could spend a lot of hours playing that one.
Loving Unicorn Overlord. It's an easy game to get lost in.
Oh yeah, and I like how it's deep strategy, yet also doesn't rely on being turn-based, reminiscent of, Ogre Battle, Person of Lordly Caliber, or March of the Black Queen. You just don't see a lot of those, and it seems like Atlas is the only one, coming at me with games like that.
Yeah, I mean, so it's you have a lot of these games really, it's like Yoshi P said, a lot of these games, people don't really like turn-based, right? Like, in spite of Baldur's Gate 3 winning Game of the Year and being one of the best-selling games ever, in general, a lot of people like to be a little bit more hands-on. Me, personally, I love a good turn-based game. You can't take me away from a good turn-based game. Like...
Yeah, no, never turn one down, but some people want to hit them hard and fast and immediately as soon as you hit the button and have, moments to decide what you want to execute next.
Hey, and you know what, man? I gotta tell you, these last few days, I have been, pretty much last few days, ever since it came out, I have just been going absolutely crazy on Marathon. It's my daily driver, it's one of those things like, it's just, and I gotta let the game speak for itself, man. Like you still have the hate mob online for Marathon for whatever reason, but this game is getting 8s and 9s across the board from major outlets. Like
To me, it sounds like a bunch of Arc Raiders or like even Call of Duty Warzone fans going, "I fear change. It's different." But
Or we
yeah,
can't forget
I'm
the
not a
Destiny
great-
fans. We can't forget the scorned Destiny fans, Drix.
Oh yeah, who could forget? All your Destiny fan friends out there, still wearing their scars with pride.
I would like to say really quick. I'll give my 2 cents on the whole marathon debacle. I was writing an article on this, but in reality, as the rubber hits the road, I'll speak plainly. The geopolitical situation is getting far too dicey to really track exactly how much something like, let's say, I don't know, the cost of energy will be in about 8 months from now. So
Yeah.
it's one of those things where, on a outsider looking in, I won't give any specific numbers, but there are a few ways that you could, let's say, back into numbers from PlayStation and numbers from Xbox. And PlayStation was on number 14 on the top selling bestseller pre-orders for its time. Not amazing. That means you sold about in the realm of like 1,500 to 8 to 1,500 copies. On Xbox, it was a little lower. So the numbers that you're seeing from Alinea Analytics, the 1.7 million across all platforms, or 1.2 million, I'm sorry, across all platforms, as confirmed by Paul Tassi from Forbes and all that kind of stuff, that is very real. And I will say that even though Marathon itself isn't a game that, let's say, caught fire,
Yeah.
I will say that the penetration of the PC market is rather important and should be considered a relatively large win for Bungie and Sony, because you penetrated the platform that you have zero control over.
Ooh, yeah, it's kind of new territory, especially if you're, throwing Sony in the mix with Bungie.
So you've got so right now PlayStation has 2 games on Steam that perform relatively well. You got Helldivers 2 and now you have Marathon. And Marathon might be on the lower end, but from the numbers in Alinea Analytics, we know that PlayStation 5 and Xbox owners didn't come out for Marathon the same way that PC players did. And so right now, if you're playing Marathon and you're hardcore like me, you're probably playing with a lot of PC players. And obviously, without let's say, a large casual boost from your console platform, your numbers are a little lacking. However, I want to go back to penetrating Steam, and that's not the platform that you own. Drix, Marathon could be a PlayStation Plus game in 6 months.
It very well could be, yeah.
Like,
In a year, it could be given away for free,
For free.
to subscribers.
in 2 months, in a month, we could have a free weekend.
Yeah, at the very least, and that could definitely drive those, casual sales.
And I think this is one of the main points that I think someone like Paul Tassi from Forbes will try to argue, in that, hey, listen, Marathon might not be the runaway success that maybe everyone wanted it to be, right? Maybe everybody at Sony, at Bungie, wanted it to be some sort of runaway million seller on day one success, and it might not be that, but the game absolutely has a long tail. Bungie says they are committed to, quote, years of service for the game, which to me, again, outsider looking in, reads that these contracts for server space and operations costs have into the future have already been signed.
Okay. Yeah, they locked in their prices, hopefully, for the server farms that all of our multiplayer live service games take place on.
Right, and when you look at these, again, not going to name any names, not going to give any specific numbers that I may or may not back into, but when you see offerings of, let's say, 50,000 users for $300,000 a month kind of thing, right? You can kind of extrapolate those monthly costs, weigh them against employment and employment costs, plus tax breaks, plus other things. The cost of running Marathon, keeping the servers online, making sure matchmaking works. You know what I mean? Those kinds of ideas, all of that. That's, again, probably already been signed, already been done. You probably have Marathon contracts for services, money exchanged, contracts drawn, signed, everything for, like, let's say 2 years, right?
Yeah. That's could be a game's whole lifetime, depending on if it's a good one.
Exactly. So I think Marathon, when you look at it in its totality, not a hit, not a financial success, has a long tail, has market penetration on the platform that you don't control.
Yeah. It's not numbers to laugh at, really.
Yeah, and again, listen, this isn't again, before we're going to take a break after this, and then we're going to jump into our indie game impressions. But this isn't a high guard situation where you had 1 million players check it out on day one and it dropped literally 90%.
Wow.
With no runway, like an all overhead and no runway as far as finances, right?
Yeah, drops like the Grand Canyon.
Yeah. So Tencent having a entity like Tencent pulling the strings behind the, Sony's not like Tencent. They're not just going to pull the funding immediately because you didn't meet the expectation. They're going to give you the time clearly to make back the investment.
Yeah. And not disappear like so many live service multiplayer, free to play or not games before it.
And again, let's take the other example in Concord, right? We here on CFM Radio are very intimately familiar with Concord. We played it.
Yeah.
It was what it was. And that game sold reportedly less than 50,000 copies. Sold 25,000 copies for a game that took half a billion dollars, they were saying, 500 million.
Yeah. And about a decade to make.
Yeah, about a decade and $500 million to make. So that's not
I wouldn't wish that on my enemies.
Yeah, like that, and that is a far cry from Marathon. Was Marathon? Let's say it like this: was Marathon $100 million game? Probably. It's probably
Could be.
probably with marketing, probably more like $200 million, $300 million. But it made double the Concord, and it still can monetize.
Yeah. Absolutely. There's still people out there, I guarantee you, who want to play it but haven't picked it up just yet.
And let's not forget, if you're listening to us on CFM Radio, you are the enthusiast. You are not somebody who is, passively playing a video game or buying. You're not the Madden crowd we talk about. You're not the Madden Call of Duty crowd we talk about. You're not the logging on and playing Fortnite as your daily driver crowd we're talking about. We're playing a lot of different kinds of games.
Yes, for people with culture and taste.
Exactly. So
we're the art house community, right?
That community is very influenced by big name outlet reviews, and I don't know if anybody's checked those, but Marathon's doing really well.
Yeah. All right. I mean, when Marathon shows up in your, printed publication of, Game Informer magazine that you subscribe to at GameStop, will you go and buy and play Marathon? Like, we'll see.
Well, it might at least draw your interest. Hey, I could see this being a very easy conversation. Hey, that game Marathon, everyone on the internet says it's bad, but IGN and GameSpot and Game Informer all said it was good and gave it a 9.
Yeah, really. So, again, if there's ever divisive reviews going around, probably best that you check it out yourself.
Check it out yourself. We're going to take a quick break. I'm going to jam out to some Crash 3 Warped. Gotta love this one. It is a classic.
Yep. Right now you are listening to The Lab Basement.
Lab Basement, Crash Bandicoot Warped.
No, Team Racing, actually.
Oh, this is Team Racing, CTR. And we are Clusterfuck Media.
Clusterfuck Media.
We'll be back.
CFM Radio.
CFM Radio, we are back.
We are back and live as we are with video game music and news every Wednesday. That was from Disgaea, a song called You Go Girl, a lot of laws on this fine April Fool's evening.
Gotta love Disgaea. Great game, great tactical RPG. Just realized they made a Prinny game just about the Prinnies.
Yeah.
Like,
Dude.
Prinny Dude exploded and reload. Prinny 1 and 2 exploded and reloaded. This game is $100 on the Nintendo Switch. Holy shit. Like,
Yeah. That's steep, but I mean, those penguins are pretty cute. You might want them, almost as much as you want your Yoshi bobblehead that was given away at the Dodger game last night. In Los Angeles.
Yeah.
I hear they're going for like $300 online now.
Yeah,
so.
they're big money. They're big money.
I went and got them, and I was like, I'll give you $15, $20.
You're right. I'll give you $20 for that shit.
I know you got it for free, dog. Come on.
Come on now. Yeah, come on now.
I know what I got. Don't lowball me.
Speaking of complimentary items, it is time to jump into our game impressions. Drix, let's start with yours. And you played a little game over the weekend called Devil Jam, did you not?
Oh yeah, I got some hours in recently in Devil Jam, which is aptly named because you play as a musician, because they like to say that rock and roll and the like is dark-sided and fueled by Satan and the like. But you've signed a contract with the devil to fight off the army of death in hell and other realms below. So this is it's a roguelike, but it's in that auto shooter genre that has just been popping up everywhere lately. Seems to be more and more.
True.
We had a review for Grind Survivors last week that Vector did, so it seems to be a bit of a popular thing going on right now ever since like Vampire Survivors dropped. But in classic auto shooter fashion, this game is mostly driven by movement, and of course upgrades and abilities and the like. So, like most roguelikes, this game's going to take some time to unfold, which is why we're just doing impressions today and not saving the full review for next week. But part of the joy and laughter and also the grind of these roguelike auto shooters is you're going to have to die a bunch to unlock these more permanent upgrades to your character. Which, if you've played an auto shooter, you're definitely already familiar with. But the thing that makes this one unique is it has a bit of a rhythm element to it. So as you're leveling up, getting experience, in crystallized form, and unlocking upgrades and abilities, you have your main weapon, which varies between as far as I know, 3 characters. And then, as you unlock these sub-weapons, you assign them on this little, tactical grid that you might be seeing at the bottom of the screen there with the fire flashing across in flames as the music, counts off in beats and rhythm. So it's a little, 4/4 common time grid that you get to place these sub-weapons on. And there's a, interesting but at the same time familiar variety of attacks and stuff. Some things are piercing, some things have an area of effect, and other abilities kind of react to your movement, so it targets enemies based on how you move. And then there are buffs that kind of affect your character's development and other sort of stats and abilities and stuff. The cool thing that makes this unique is that sometimes you get like sub weapons that almost like triple triad from Final Fantasy, that card game.
Oh,
They
okay.
affect enough. Yeah, they affect other sub weapons based on how they are placed on the grid. So me being like the kind of musician, 30 something in a band, I like to kind of place place certain like heavy hitting abilities like on the 2 and the 4 where like the snares would go.
All
in the
right.
song.
Hell yeah. Okay.
You know what I mean? That's just kind of where I'm feeling the big hits, so I can lock into the beat. But I think it's pretty cool and absolutely unique in the host of auto shooters that we have to try to add this kind of like rhythm game element to it. That, and other than like the mechanics, the art style is great. The story is cool. It's like rocking. I feel like I'm playing a like if Metalocalypse was an auto shooter, you know what I mean?
Awesome. Okay.
Or like
Okay.
like Tenacious D or Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey, if you've ever watched that and they go through hell, like it's very reminiscent of these kinds of themes. So a lot of it really hits with me. I was actually like even just getting into the game, I'm like, I like to pause and do other things at times, get a drink or fetch whatever, pet a cat. And I really like the music. The music is great. It's very, very shreddy, very, very rock and roll. I like a lot of the characters. Like of course there's the devil, but you were just seeing right now you're almost like a warlock where you derive your powers and your attacks from these like demonic hosts. So like Wrath is like a bouncer or like security guard roadie kind of person. Lust also does a job as talent acquisition as a demon lady. And the other one I've discovered is Gluttony, which is actually a 3-headed cat Cerberus, which I find absolutely adorable. 3-headed demon cats who just want nothing more than to eat your food. It's got aesthetic, it's got style, and as I've said many times before on CFM Radio, like I like games with style, baby, style over everything. But again, another reason why I'm just giving impressions, because I'm only a few hours deep into it and not 20 hours deep. I'm a little auto shootered out. Okay. You've seen in the CFM B-roll before, I've been playing a good bit of Vital Shell, which is sort of the PS1 Armored Core mech themed auto shooter.
Very cool.
I've also been playing Halls of Torment, which is the like retro kind of isometric Diablo painted auto shooter. Again, Vector had Grind Survivors last week, which is kind of like the Doom paint job. So as I'm going through this, I'm like, okay, I have a lot to compare to literally like contemporary games in this genre. But a few hours into it, I'm still into it. But there's a lot of kinds of parallels and stuff that I'll be getting into for the greater review of Devil's Jam. But again, the style really hits with me. The story like could be really cool, could be great, but I'm still in that phase where you got to put 15-20 hours into this and unlock just about everything, death after roguelike death.
And you know what? That sounds like a perfectly good impression, because you're right. There's a lot of auto shooters and honestly roguelikes out there. There's a lot of choice. Grind Survivors, I'll say it like this: Grind Survivors gave me a great first impression, and being real, I didn't sour on the game, but it wasn't all I thought it was going to be cracked up to be by the time I had sunk about 20 hours into it.
Yeah, exactly. You got to give these relationships, these roguelike relationships, time to grow, Yeah.
So, Devil Jam, we will see you next week on this one for our full review. And we will have a little bit extra for people who are really into what Devil Jam is putting down. For now, though, we are going to move on to the game that I checked out. I also am giving some first impressions today. And that game is a very different flavor from the auto shooter. We're going into a smaller puzzle game, but this one could be a little bit a little bit quick. And there are some things that you need a little bit of dexterity for that end up sneaking up on you. This is Origamint or Origamint. It is on Steam, and it is releasing on April 9th. These are just my first impressions. I've only put about 4 hours into this one. But Drix, I gotta tell you, this game is incredibly charming, and it's full of heart.
Oh, look at that. You're a little wad of paper.
Yes, you play as a wad of paper, and right there you were seeing me choose a skin, but right now you are seeing me play Origamint, and we're jumping right into it right here. As you can see, the main gimmick is origami. You go from a clump of paper, wadded up paper, into a shuriken, into a paper airplane, and then when you're going onto the perilous high seas, fear not, you become a paper boat.
Yes, the metamorphosis.
And again, this is a very, I would call this I don't know if I would call it a quote-unquote cozy game, but I would call this a very relaxing game. And there is a good bit of challenge, both optional and not, that will keep you not only on your toes, but for me at least, kept me thinking to myself, wow, what a unique and refreshing take on a puzzle platformer.
Yeah, really. I mean, it takes me back to when I wrote a review article for Glyph over on clusterfuckedmedia.com.
It is pretty reminiscent of a game such as that, very non-traditional. Again, you are playing as a wad of paper who carries let's say, a very important note. And it is your job to get to whoever this note is for. You don't quite know. You are as the person who wrote the note wads you up and tosses you into a river. You encounter the cat that you see in the center of the screen up at the top, and you are transported into what is called the last working portal, and now you are in this whimsical world of origami magic. And Drix, I have to tell you, yeah, and I gotta tell you, Drix, the environments are fantastic.
Yeah, really. I mean, it was looking like Tron a minute ago.
Exactly. It's a very varied game. You begin in almost like a feudal Japan setting. And then as you saw that we just went through the Tron-esque like virtual world setting, now we're in almost this like rustic Italian Venice setting, like.
Yeah, definitely some rustic action going on here. And as heavy as we are in saturation of auto shooters, I think there is some untapped area for like a Marble Madness, like.
Absolutely. And I will say this is one of those games that not only is it reminiscent of something like that, very classic, but as you can see, the charm of this game is just through the roof. The stylized, the visual aesthetic, the stylized mannequin people, how they all wave at you. It's all very jovial, right? And that's not to say
like Pixar or like a DreamWorks movie,
Yeah,
it could have taken place in the Shrek universe for all I know.
Yeah, and as you can see, the game can shift tone very well. If you're watching the B-roll, you can have your hints of suspense. You can have that come along with these changes in point of view to give you a new angle on your puzzle solving. And Drix, I got to just tell you, this game swept me off my feet for a first impression. It's a very, simply because the execution of the vision is impeccable.
Yeah, really. I mean, that's the thing about games as an art form, right? If you have an artistic vision, that's what I want to see. Like, please, Mr. Kojima.
Indeed, and it's one of those, because this, as you can see, the game, as I said, has a lot of charm, and it's also wholly its own. There are very few games that try to take advantage of, like you said, like a Marble Madness inspiration, and really try to push that into a new dimension. And Origament really does make you think about these physics puzzle platforming type games in a different way. From its striking visuals to the moments such as you're watching right now, where the game gets quick, the pace goes crazy, and then all of a sudden you're in a rushing river and you can't touch any of these red plants or else you instantly restart. So, you have to be able to adapt to the fly. It's not one of these quote-unquote cozy games where you don't need to worry about anything and just chill out and do whatever. It will challenge you. It's not like the challenges are very insurmountable. It's not a super hardcore game, at least not from the point that I've gotten to. But this is absolutely one of those fantastic palate cleanser type games. So that's giving me the impression that, I'll say it like this, my daily driver, of course, as I was saying earlier, is Marathon. Very visceral, very action-packed. This was the perfect game to play in between sessions of Marathon.
Yeah, exactly.
And one of the things like this, you're about to see it. Great moments, full of heart. 15 gold coins right there, guys. If you ever wanted to make an origami fox, that's how you do it. One of the unlockables.
Real life origami lessons from a video game. Who'd have thought?
Fantastic. I'm loving Origament. The game is coming out on April 9th on PC Steam. We will have our full review on April 8th, next Wednesday. Be sure to tune in, check it out, and you know what? We're gonna see exactly how far this game can take this charm.
Yeah, take us there. We will see you next week with our full reviews.
And for now, we're gonna take a break, and we're going to jam out to this very dreamy track we've got going on here. Drix, what is this?
We got a little bit of a Tekken-style trance coming your way. Actually, coming out of the end of this track, but this was Poolside from Tekken 5. But after all this paper rolling, we're gonna go on a little Goron race from Legend of Zelda: Majora's Mask for the Nintendo 64.
Majora's Mask, Goron Race, CFM Radio.
Clusterfuck Media.
We'll be back with video game news.
to fight with. Get it on. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. Pick and choose the right one. Get it on. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Yeah. Select the one to fight with. Get it on. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. Yes, sir. Pick and choose the right one. Get it on. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It's time for you to get into the character. You hit or lose or hit or win, I'm only asking you. Either you beat him or get beaten like an amateur. Either you drive or you get driven like a passenger. The fight's around the corner, so pick the one you want to. Represent your way, go head to head with your opponent. Feel it in the air, tension is electric. The glory's imminent, this is something epic. Reach for one of you, so what you gonna do? When your enemy is standing right in front of you, are you gonna lose, or are you gonna prove to everyone and never thought you win that you can rule? Cause everything is in your hands, you control it. And everything that is the past, it is over. This is now, this is everything that is. So you better make the right pick. Select the one to fight with. Get it on. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. Pick and choose the right one. Get it on. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Select the one to fight with. Get it on. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. Pick and choose the right one. Get it on. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Select the one to fight with. Get it on. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. Pick and choose the right one. Get it on. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Select the one to fight with. Get it on. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. Pick and choose the right one. Get it on. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Select the one to fight with. Get it on. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. Pick and choose the right one. Get it on. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Select the one.
CFM Radio, we are back.
We are back and live with video game music jams. That was from Street Fighter 3 Third Strike Online Edition, which is, I guess, still trapped on the PS3, but that was a sweet and fancy remix of Let's Get It On, the player select theme.
Love that one. Trapped on the PS3. Very sad days. You can play it on PS5 via cloud streaming, but it's just not the same because because you're playing against other people online. So you're playing online to play online. Not a good look.
Yeah, the player base is probably dwindling for that one ever since, we've gotten our Capcom fighting collections.
Probably.
And of course, you're hearing a little bit of the Duel of the Fates from Star Wars Battle for Naboo. This was the title theme on the Nintendo 64. But I'll tell you what's about to duel right now is these new releases.
That's right. We've got new releases. And first up, we have from... my bad. Hold on. We got... Oh no. Totally. I gotta drop this, and sorry about that. Sorry about the volume, but this is our first. It's called Cursed Words.
Oh yeah, it's almost like Boggle meets Cards Against Humanity or something. Like, it looks pretty board game and not in a boring way at all.
And we're going to find out from the Steam page, quote, "From Letters to Lunacy, Cursed Words is a roguelike chasing ever stronger synergies. Start with simple words like buy or this or game. Then use game-altering combos to break the rules. Before long, you'll be king the out of these cursed words releases Friday, April 2nd on Steam. That is the end of the week. And I think you're spot on with your assessment, Drix. This is like Cards Against Humanity meets Scrabble.
Yeah, or it starts off Sesame Street, but then devolves into just swear words like it's MTV's Wonder Chosen or something.
Yeah.
Strange puppet parody, crank anchors, and other things that date me as a person.
And hey, that's Cursed Words. If you want to check this out, it comes out this Friday only on Steam.
Yeah. Take that, words with friends. Let's start swearing.
And the next one we've got, again, apologies for the volume in advance, but this one is Darwin's Paradox.
Oh, yeah. We're talking Stealthtopus, right? Stealth Squid?
Yes, we are talking Stealth Squid because from the Steam page, quote, dive into adventure with Darwin, an octopus as endearing as he is ingenious. Torn from the ocean and trapped in a vast and mysterious industrial complex, harness his unique talents and abilities to help him overcome the many dangers and traps in this captivating platformer adventure game.
Yeah, I remember this came up during one of the state of play or
Yeah,
like,
the
other
PlayStation
shows
one.
we were covering. And since this is brought to you by your favorite folks over at Konami, it really sticks out of my brain that there's a snake costume for the octopus, and he's going to hide in a box at some point. So yeah, that really shines my memory, and I hope it really shines through. This was something I was definitely looking at picking up, just because it's wacky and cute. Look at him.
Yeah, it's absolutely wacky. Absolutely. One of these games that, again, talking about charm earlier, this game has a ton of charm as well.
Yeah, Stealthtopus.
Yes, and Darwin's Paradox releases Friday as well for PC, PS5, Xbox Series consoles, and Nintendo Switch.
Oh yeah, there's a Metal Gear gimmick right there.
Yeah.
Love it.
And as we're winding down here at CFM Radio, let's get into the news.
Video game.
Oh yeah, time to live up to the name. Video game, music, and news.
Video game, music, and news. We are here, and Drix, I don't know about you, but I'll just ask. Did you know that Sony had a mobile department, PlayStation?
That's news to me, actually.
Yeah, me too. I didn't realize that until I read this first part of the news, and that is from mobilegamer.biz. Quote the headline, PlayStation's mobile arm hit by layoffs.
What mobile arm? They had a mobile arm?
That's what I'm saying.
Can either of us name one game that Sony of PlayStation fame made for mobile devices?
All right, we're going to figure this out. All right, so here it is. Quote, PlayStation has cut around 50 staff from its studio business group, we're told, which includes staff in its PlayStation Studios mobile division. One LinkedIn post from a staffer affected by the cuts last week claimed that PlayStation Studios Mobile had closed down entirely. Sony would not comment on its status, but most senior PlayStation Mobile staff remained in post, according to their LinkedIn profiles.
Wow, okay. Who knows? Hopefully they'll just be reassigned somewhere else in Sony, which is a large enough company of its name and fame. But yeah, I'm just racking my brain thinking about what mobile games did they ever make and why? Why would they? Who would do this?
So here we go. On a statement from it sent a statement to mobilegamer.biz. Quote, Sony Interactive Entertainment Studio Business Group has made several strategic adjustments to support long-term sustainability. As part of this process, there were limited workforce reductions across selected teams. We greatly appreciate the contributions of all those impacted. quote, we understand development will continue on PlayStation mobile titles MLB The Show Mobile, Ratchet and Clank Ranger Rumble, both of which are currently in soft launch. MLB The Show Mobile is currently testing in both iOS and Android and is registering downloads in the Philippines, Colombia, Australia, and the Dominican Republic, according to App Magic. It is being developed as a standalone mobile title by Sony's San Diego studio.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yep.
One Ratchet and Clank and one MLB The Show, please.
Yeah, and most recently, Destiny has worked with NetEase to bring the Destiny series to mobile, launching Destiny Rising in August 2025. So that looks So that looks like that. I had no idea that the mobile arm was so robust. I guess I know I have my PlayStation app, right? But that's about it.
Yeah, that's the only Sony thing I can say I have on my phone, so I can send screenshots and video clips to my friends and the like.
Yeah, exactly. So, as far as all that goes, unfortunate. Hate to see more layoffs in the industry.
Yeah, least favorite thing to report on in video game news.
Yeah.
But, decisions were made. Decisions that matter.
Yeah, and I mean, hey, you know what? Sounds like MLB The Show and Ratchet and Clank Ranger Rumble isn't testing so great.
Yeah, it could be a sign. I mean, you guys made the PlayStation. Like, what are you worried about cell phones for?
I mean, you dominated the fucking market. Xbox is out on its ass. What's going on? Like,
why even divert your attention into these, crap devices when you are the hardware?
Yeah, well, you know what, Drake's here. This next bit of video game news, well, we're going to end on this. This next bit of video game news is actually about Xbox and the changes that they've made ever since the new boss has come into town.
Ah, yes, the Asha Sharma. Yeah, we will distribute our shade throwing and tea spilling equally amongst the console market today.
Absolutely, and here it is, videogameschronicle.com, your home for the news. Headline, Microsoft, quote, Microsoft claims new gaming CEO killed This Is an Xbox campaign because, quote, it didn't feel like Xbox.
Okay, we switched our marketing copy. I mean, because wasn't the idea that they were saying this is an Xbox about your smart television and your
and your
cell
phone,
yeah. This is an Xbox. It's not exactly an ad campaign as notable as Got Milk or something.
Yeah, and I'm gonna get out right in front of this whole thing right now. I'm not even gonna look at half of this right now before I'm gonna say, listen, I don't think the best way to move your console is to say fuck the console, okay?
Yeah. Wouldn't be my marketing idea.
Yeah,
to say, hey, this pen is green and it's blue,
It's kind of ridiculous. So, with that in mind, here we go. From the article, quote, according to a new report from Windows Central, Sharma's first act after coming on board was to shut down the, quote, this is an Xbox marketing campaign. The advertising campaign promoted Xbox as a cross-device platform, notably on other companies' products, such as Samsung and LG devices. Oh, I got you there, Drix.
Ooh. Yeah. No, I'm with it. I'm behind her, though. Asha Sharma should sell Xboxes and not call things that are not called Xboxes. Because now I just feel like I'm being lied to.
And here's the thing. I think Asha Sharma is saying all the right things. We'll see where we're standing a year from now. But we're going to jump back into the article. Quote, in a statement issued to the publication, Microsoft confirmed that This Is an Xbox was discontinued due to a direct decision from Sharma. Oh, wow. Quote, Asha retired This Is an Xbox because it didn't feel like Xbox, a Microsoft spokesperson said. She is personally leading a reset of how we show up as a brand. At the time of publishing, Microsoft's news piece from November about This Is an Xbox campaign has been, quote, taken offline. In her first statement as Microsoft's gaming CEO last month, Sharma stated that Xbox has to make 3 commitments to ensure the future success. Quote, great games, the, quote, return of Xbox, and, quote, the future of play. To meet the moment, we will invent new business models and new ways to play by leaning into what we already have. Iconic teams, characters, and worlds that people love, she said. Interesting. And
Yeah.
so, indeed, Drix, if you do go to the link that is in the VGC VideoGamesChronicle.com article, quote, headline, quote, Microsoft claims new gaming CEO killed This Is an Xbox campaign because it, quote, didn't feel like Xbox. They have you can click this link on there that takes you to news.xbox.com/ENUS 2024-11-14. This is an Xbox. And you get a nice big 404, Drix.
Ha! Yes. Big reveal. The article has gone down. Things that were once Xboxes, we shall refer to them as such no longer.
Yes. This is indeed. It seems as though these devices are not Xboxes.
Yeah, quit calling them that.
It's making my Xbox look bad. Okay.
Yeah, what do you mean this too is an Xbox?
This too.
Like, this is a smart TV, okay?
This is a Fire Stick. Okay.
Okay?
Like, here's the thing, Drix. Like we were saying earlier, I don't know who's you hear it's going around out there that Sarah Bond, it was all her fault, right? It was all her. This is an Xbox was Sarah Bond's fault, right? But like,
Yeah. No, every corporate mistake needs a scapegoat and somebody to lay off, right?
yeah, because Drix, you and I both know a lot of people probably worked on that.
Yeah. No, there was a definite level of investment, and this is why, you need honest feedback from, your friends and coworkers. Because
Yeah.
if you're surrounded by people that only say yes and, appease whoever has the most authority or what have you, this is where you end up. Neck
Yeah.
deep in a marketing campaign that is not working and just sort of fell off.
Yeah, and Asha Sharma, giving her the credit that she deserves. Like I said, I'll wind down the show with this. Asha Sharma, giving her the credit that she deserves. She's going out there. People can clown on her all she wants, but she's going out there. She's going on Twitter. She's posting her Xbox Live account information. She's posting her gamer cred, right? And like, you could think about that however you want, but
Yeah.
we here at CFM Radio reported not too long ago that the folks at the analytics firm Newzoo and their contemporaries, ever since the advent of something like Xbox Game Pass, right? They don't really consider the game that the player has played the game unless they've really committed about 4 hours to playing that game. So I'll say it here. Don't be afraid to ask for a little bit of gamer cred.
Yeah, right? How much time do you spend playing games, and what games exactly are you playing, CEO of a gaming company?
Yeah, because here's the thing, right? Like, if you're playing your games, I can't say anything I can't say that you're not giving me a fair assessment of what you think, right? Like,
Yeah. Yep. But, otherwise you can just gaslight, gatekeep, and girl boss.
and we will see if that is indeed what Asha Sharma is intending to do. But she, like I said earlier, she's saying all the right things. She seems like she wants to reevaluating as we show up as a brand is a good thing to shoot for.
Yeah. As far as this move is concerned, I say she's on the corner of stunning and brave. To cancel an entire ad campaign. Just not necessarily on a vibe, because like she's right, it does not feel like Xbox calling a phone or a smart TV an Xbox. Like that's not going to sell hardware. It shouldn't take a CEO, marketing genius, or even a game developer to tell you that.
Yeah. So more and more it's seeming that like after a certain point Xbox just the management fell off the wagon. So we'll see about in a year where we're at, who we're what commitments have been made, what people think about Asha Sharma in her new position. But for now, saying a lot of good stuff. I feel like that Xbox, as if I was an Xbox user, I would feel a little bit more confident. Even though I'm still staring down the barrel of a $30 a month Xbox Game Pass bill.
Yeah, exactly. We'll see if a CEO can truly step in and solve the sort of middle management squabbles that seem to be plaguing the video game industry, right?
Yeah, I think you hit the nail on the head with that one. A lot of these problems that we're realizing are plaguing the industry. It's a lot of middlemen and a lot of extra. Yeah, just a lot of money mucking about where it didn't belong. And now that all that's gone, we're seeing who's actually willing to stick with the gaming industry, and who might have just been in there for a flash in a pan type thing.
Yeah, and who is outsourcing all their labor to people that live on islands in the middle of nowhere.
But as always, thank you everybody for joining us here on CFM Radio. Happy April Fools. We hope you pranked at least one person.
Yep. Howdy y'all. Country folk music radio.
Country freestyle folk music radio. All right, Drix. I think it's time we get out of here. See everyone next week.
It's time to play some games.